Hi, it's Jenny from Buggy Baby, and today we're taking a look at two of Joie's pushchairs. We're taking a look at the Joie Litetrax Pro and the Joie Mytrax Pro. Both of these pushchairs can be used from birth up until your child reaches 22k, and with both of these you can attach a compatible car seat and also a compatible carrycot. The Litetrax Pro retails at £240 and the Mytrax Pro retails at £300. So let's start off by having a look at the Litetrax Pro. This retails at £240 and it weighs 9.7 kilograms, so it's fairly lightweight for the size of the pushchair. If you've been looking at the Joie Litetrax 4 and you want to know what the differences are between that and the Litetrax Pro, the main difference here are the wheels. So the wheels on the Pro are rubber foam filled wheels, which makes them all-terrain, and the other difference is the leatherette detailing on the bumper bar. You can also use the Pro up to 22k, but with the Litetrax 4 you can only use that up until your child reaches 15k. So we're going to take this out of the box, we'll build the pushchair, and then we can look at all of the features it has to offer. So we've got everything out of the box, and here you can see we have got the pushchair itself, we've got a bumper bar, we have a parent tray. Here are our wheels, so these are our front swivel wheels, these are our larger rear wheels, and it also comes with a rain cover. So first up we need to attach the wheels, and to do that we're just going to open our frame up. There should be a clasp somewhere, there we go. Okay, there's our frame up, and the wheels are just going to pop on. So if we start with the rear ones, you can see here we've got a little hole for the wheels to go into, and we're going to pop them on. We have the other rear one on, and twist it round so it goes in, get that in the right place. There we go. There we go. And now for our front wheels. And again, they're just going to pop on to the pins here. There we go. Last one. Okay, so they're all in place. There, I can already feel just from moving it just like that how easy this is going to be to manoeuvre. Really nice wheels, and it's swiveling really nicely with those front swivel wheels. Now we're going to attach the included bumper bar, and you can see here this has got leatherette detailing, and this is one of the things that sets it apart from the Litetrax 4. And this is going to slide into place, so just here we've got these little slot bits that we're going to put the bumper bar onto, and hopefully it's just going to slide into place. And you can see this pivots as well, so you'll be able to just take one side out and then remove it to the side so that you can get your child in. So there we go, you can hear that click, that means it's in place. And just here are the little buttons that you're going to use if you want to remove it, so you just press it in and then pull it out. So we've got everything set up now, and on first sight this is a really smart looking pushchair. I can see there's plenty of room in the seat, so as your child reaches the upper age limit of 22k, they look like they're going to be plenty comfortable enough. You're not going to be tight for space at all. It's a nice tall seat, it's also quite wide as well. Starting with the seat unit, the material's got a nice little pattern to it. As I said, this is in the pebble colour, so this is a nice medium grey colour. It's got lots of padding on it. It looks really comfortable. If you were using it for a newborn, you might want to put a nice soft liner on there, but to me it doesn't seem much need to. It looks plenty comfortable enough. And having a look at the straps here, there are 3 different height positions that we can put our straps in. So obviously this is going to adapt with your child as they grow. And like most other pushchairs, you just need to re-thread the straps through the back of the pushchair as you want to move them up. Here is our clasp. It's a 5-point harness, and all you need to do is press that button in and then pull these parts out. And of course, if you want to, you can attach from the top as well, which is what's making it the 5-point harness. And you just clip that back into place when you're strapping your child in. You've got some nice shoulder straps here. They're not too padded, but they'll be plenty comfortable enough. And you also have the padding here just to keep your child more comfortable so that strap doesn't press into them. The nice things about the Litetrax is it has what they call this flex system on the seat. And what that is some springs underneath there. So if you're going over slightly bumpier terrain, it's going to make it a smoother ride for your child because it's going to absorb those bumps so that your child doesn't feel them as much. So that's a really nice feature that the Litetrax has. You can as well, if you want to, adjust the footrest. So there's 2 positions for that. This is in the lowest position. This is probably how you're going to want it when you've got an older child and they're hanging their legs over. And you can also bring it up. So underneath here, there's 2 buttons under the material that you'll be able to feel. And you just bring that up. And then that's great if your child's napping or for when they're smaller. We'll spin this around now so we can have a look at how the seat reclines. So there are 4 recline positions on the Litetrax Pro. And if you can see here, we've got a bar, and that's the mechanism that we're going to use to bring the seat down. So all you need to do is push that bar up and then let the seat drop into its first position. So let's spin that around so you can see it. So this is on the 2nd position now. And we'll bring it down again. This is on its 3rd position, so you can see that's a really nice napping position if your child doesn't want to lay flat. And last one, this is its lie flat position. So you can see there it's still on a very slight recline, but it's plenty flat enough to make sure that your child can have a nice comfortable sleep. Now, one of the other things that you'll notice is that we've got absolutely loads of fabric here. And what that's going to do for your child is keep them nice and sheltered and protected when they're having a sleep in there. And this is one of the things I always like to see on a pushchair, because I think it's really nice when your child's sleeping for them to be nicely cocooned in. Right, so let's bring that seat back up, all the way up. And you can see on its upright position, it sits nice and high. There's not too much of a recline at all. Some pushchairs, even on the upright, it still has a slight recline. This is really nice because your child's going to be sitting forward. Next up, let's look at the hood. Now, this is an oversized hood. So if we bring this out, you can see that it's a really nice size. There's absolutely loads of coverage, even when the seat is brought forward. And you've got this nice little bit of extra material here that's just going to help keep the sun out of your child's eyes. It's UPF 50 plus, so it is going to provide sun protection for your child. And the great thing about this hood is it is extendable. So you've got a zip here. When we let that down, look at the size of it. Goes almost down to the bumper bar. An extendable hood is absolutely brilliant when you have a child that gets distracted when you're trying to get them to nap, because you can pull this down, they can't see what's going on in the outside world, and it will keep it nice and dark for them so that they can go to sleep. So this is a really nice, useful feature. The hood feels really sturdy, made of the same material that the seat is. It is not too thin at all, actually. It's really feels really nice, really sturdy and well made. You can see on the hood we've got some ventilation windows. We've got a few of these actually. So we've got either side of the hood here. We have got a little peekaboo ventilation window here, and if we bring that down, if they were lying flat, if you'd had the seat on recline, we've also got this ventilation window here as well. So what that's going to do for your child is just provide them some ventilation in the hotter months and keep them nice and cool. Let's have a look at these wheels. So as I said at the start, one of the differences between the Litetrax Pro and the Litetrax 4 is that the wheels on the Pro are rubber foam filled wheels. So these are all-terrain wheels. With the Litetrax 4, they're EVA tyres, and the EVA tyres are really only suited for urban areas. So if you're looking for something that you can use for an urban area and for countryside walks, these are the type of wheels that would be good for you. Now, because they're made of rubber, they're going to be really nice to push over any surface at all. And because they're foam filled rather than air, you won't get any punctures. So it's going to be much less maintenance than an air-filled tyre might be for you. However, if you are hoping to use this for real off-road rides, so you go to the forest a lot, maybe you go on the beach a lot, something like that, you probably would want an air-filled tyre rather than these foam-filled ones. And that's because it's foam filled, therefore it has less give to it. So an air filled is better suited for very, very, very rough terrain. However, this is perfect if you're just going for a normal countryside walk. It's not too extreme. This is going to take you from town to the countryside with no problems at all. Whilst we're down here, let's have a look at the basket. So if we just spin this round, we can see it is a decent sized basket. You've got nice high sides here. It's a little bit shallow on this side, but I wouldn't say too much, so I wouldn't imagine anything's going to fall out. You've got plenty of room there for a changing bag, your coat, any shopping. I don't think you're going to have any problems at all in terms of the size. Here we have our brake. Now with this brake, to lock your wheels, all you're going to do is push it down with your foot, and then when you want to unlock it, you just press it again with your foot, and it comes up. So unlike most traditional brakes, you're not going to use your foot to click it up. All it is down, and then to unlock your wheels, it's the same action, and that's going to bring the brake off for you. Here we've got the parent tray that we attached earlier. You've got room in here for a couple of drinks, and it's got this little compartment here that you'll be able to put your keys in, your phone in, anything like that that you don't obviously want to put in the basket. You can keep it close to hand, nice and safe, because there's Velcro here. So when you attach that, it's going to be nicely secure. Handle has got this leatherette detailing on as well, so it feels really nice, and it's curved, which makes it really nice to push. It puts you in a really good position when you're pushing the pushchair. It's a good height. I would say this is going to be suitable regardless of whether you're quite short or quite tall. It looks to me like you won't have any problems regardless of your height, really. And it's lovely to push. So one of the things they say about Litetrax Pro is that you can push it one-handed, and I can definitely confirm that is the case. It's got all-wheel suspension, so it's really nice and smooth when you push it, and you won't have any problems holding maybe your other child's hand whilst you're pushing one-handed with the pushchair. I'll show you how to fold it next. So it's a one-handed fold, and it's really simple to do. So this is similar to the Litetrax Sub 4. Underneath here, you've got a strap and a button, and what you're going to do is push the button in with your thumb and then use the rest of your hand to pull the strap up, and that's going to close the pushchair for us. So I'll show you how to do that. So we're just going to push down, pull the strap up. There you go. It is so simple and quick to do. Here it is in its folded size. Now, I would say you'd be able to get this into most car boots. It's not ultra compact, but obviously the pushchair isn't ultra compact itself, but I would say it is quite small in comparison to other pushchairs of this size. So hopefully you won't have any problems regardless of your car boot space. Now, to get the pushchair up, all we're going to do is undo this clasp. So this clasp automatically goes into place when you close the pushchair down, holding the frame into place. And to bring the pushchair up, we're just going to undo that clasp. There we go. And use the handle to bring the pushchair back into place. It is really, really easy, and because it's quite light, only 9.7, it doesn't feel too much at all bringing that pushchair up and bringing it into place. You don't have to do any silly little jiggle or anything with it to get it into place. It will automatically click, and then you're good to go. The Mytrax Pro differs from the normal Mytrax in that this is made from recycled bottles, and it also has a different bumper bar. It retails at £300, and what we're going to do today is get this out of the box, we'll build the pushchair, and then we can have a look at all of its features. We're taking a look at it in the shell grey colour, and as I said, this is made from recycled bottles, so it's part of a new range that they're doing with recycled bottles, which is really great to see, and I know it's going to be really popular with a lot of people who are conscious about what they are using. So if we can get this open, you can take a look inside. Here we go. So this is what you get inside of the box. So we can see here we've got our 4 wheels. We have got a bumper bar. This is the hood. Here's our frame with our seat unit already attached. We have got a cup holder, and it also comes with the rain cover. So what we need to do is pop our wheels on. So if we get the frame open up, we will start off with our rear wheels, and these are just going to slot into place just here. We're going to pop them in. There we go. And on the other side, pop that one in. And now for our front wheels, again, these are just going to slide into place. So we're going to match the hole up to the pin. They will click into place. Next up, we're going to get the hood on, and I can see here that we have got a zip going around the seat unit here, which is going to match up to the zip that I can see on our hood. And you can see on the frame we've got these 2 little parts where our hood is going to slide onto just here. So if we slide them on first, slide them into place. There we go, and then we'll be able to zip this up. So let's find the end of the zip. Here we go. So we've got that attached, and now we are going to just zip that up. There we go. All the way round. Brilliant. Okay, that is the hood attached. And now we're going to put the bumper bar on. So this is a pivoted bumper bar, which means that you're going to be able to just take one side off and remove it to the side so you can get your child in, so you don't have to take the whole bumper bar off. And this bumper bar and the covering that we've got on our handlebar is one of the differences between this and the original Mytrax, in that really it's just a different colour, it's a different material. So if we pop these on, you can see here we've got these little parts on the frame where this is going to slide into place. So they just pop on and make a little click so you know that it's secure. There we go. And then you have the cup holder. Where do we put that? I imagine that goes somewhere on the handlebar. Okay, so that is the hood on, the handlebar on. We've got all the wheels on. We are ready to go. So first off, I just want to say this is a really, really nice looking pushchair. It is so smart looking. In fact, as soon as I got it out of the box, I knew I was going to like this pushchair, because the Mytrax already is a great pushchair. And this, just having the added extra of it being recycled materials, it gives it another edge to the pushchair itself, and it looks great. The material is a very thick linen style material. It is incredibly padded, and the seat is really nice and tall, and it's nice and wide as well. So as this goes up to 22k, which is somewhere around 4 years of age, I can see that you are going to get plenty of room in this as your child reaches that upper age limit. It looks incredibly comfortable. And one of the things that the Mytrax has, along with the Litetrax as well actually, is it has a spring system inside of the seat unit here. And what that does for your child is, if you're going over bumpy terrain, it will soak up some of those bumps and make it much more comfortable for your child. So this material looks really, really robust. It looks very high quality. It looks like a high-end pushchair, and I am very impressed by this. So you will see more and more the brands doing collections with recycled fabrics. So it is a thing that's really coming into fashion now. And there are other brands that are doing car seats and stuff like that as well. So as I said, you will see this around, and this is a really nice example of what can be done with recycled fabrics. So let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. I can see here that we have got 3 different heights for our straps to be adjusted to. So as your child grows, you'll be able to take the straps out from the back of the seat and then re-thread it into whichever height it is that you need. So that's great. It's going to give loads of growing room for your child. Here we've got a 5-point harness, just a traditional 5-point harness. There's nothing particularly special about this or different. And all you would do is click on the middle part here, and that will undo the straps for you. And of course, if you wanted to, you can undo it again to take these parts off, and that's what's giving you the 5-point harness. Now to strap your child back up, you pop them back in. It gives a nice reassuring click, and your child is nice and safe again. You have got these chest pads here, which are matching material to the seat unit. They're not particularly padded at all, but they do look nice and attractive. And then we also have this part here to protect your child from the strap as well. You can adjust the leg rest, so there's 2 positions here, and underneath the material are 2 buttons which you'll be able to feel, and if you press them in, that will release it so that you can bring it down. This is going to be most suitable for your child as they get a bit older and their legs dangle over, and when they're smaller you might want to keep it up, or if they're napping you might want to have it up as well. We'll spin it round now. Let's have a look at the reclines. So this gives us 4 different positions to have the pushchair into. So actually, if we start off here, this is our upright position, and you can see here it sits nicely forward, so there's not really any recline to it at all when it's in its upright position, which is nice. And then to bring it down, we have this mechanism here which we're going to pull up, and then it releases the seat, and then if you just let it drop, it will go into its next position. So this is position 2. This is going to put them on a slight recline. And again, press that in, let it drop. This is its 3rd position, so that's nearly on lie flat now. That's a really nice napping position to have your child in. And again, this is on its flattest position. So it's not completely lie flat, there's still a slight recline to it, but it's going to be plenty comfortable enough for your child to have a really nice nap in there. Now on its lie flat, we can see you've got loads of material on the side, which is going to make sure your baby's really nice and sheltered and cocooned in when they're taking a nap. And this is something I always really like to see on a pushchair, because I think it's much more comfortable for your child to feel cocooned in and have all of this side protection. So overall, a really great seat unit, really lovely material, and absolutely loads of space in there for your growing child. We'll take a look at the hood now, and this is an oversized hood that we have. So if I bring this down, you can see that it gives really nice coverage, and this is before we've even extended it. It gives lovely coverage, and it's got this little extra bit here which is going to help keep the sun out of your child's eyes. It's UPF 50+, so it's going to give sun protection to your child as well. And what you can do if you want to make it larger is just unzip here, and that will bring the hood further down still, all the way to the bumper bar, which is great. So if you're trying to get your child to sleep in the pushchair, this is going to give them some privacy and some shelter as well. Now the hood is in exactly the same material as our seat unit, this lovely thick linen material. It's really sturdy, it looks really well made and really high quality. I can see here we've got ventilation windows, so we've got a little part here, we have got one on the other side. Let's see if we've got any more here. Yeah, okay, so we've got one under here as well. So that ventilation is just going to help in the summer months to keep your child cooler. And let's see if we've got any more if we come down here. Yes, okay, so if you're on a lie flat position, you can also bring this material up, and you've got more ventilation here as well. Moving on to the wheels, these are rubber foam filled tyres. So that means they are all-terrain tyres. They can be used for urban use, they can be used for your countryside walks, so they are suitable for really any terrain. The only thing that they won't be quite as good on is if you're on very, very rough terrain, so real off-road surfaces, you might want to go for a rubber air-filled tyre instead. But generally, you can use these on any terrain and they will give you really nice, smooth push on the pushchair. And obviously, because they're not air-filled, they won't require as much maintenance as well. Because they're made from rubber on the outside, they're going to give really nice grip even on smooth surfaces. And again, because they're rubber, when you go over any bumpy terrain, they're going to be able to easily maneuver over those bumps. As well as that, this pushchair has all-wheel suspension, so that's going to make it easier still to maneuver it over whatever terrain it is that you're on. So you get really great wheels on this, and it is lovely that it's going to be suitable for wherever you are. If we spin it round, let's take a look at the basket. So we've got a decent sized basket here, we've got nice high sides. I can see that we're easily going to be able to get a changing bag in there, perhaps a coat. It's got plenty of space. Might not get much shopping in there, but you certainly get a bag or two. And onto the brake. The brake is not quite a traditional brake in that you don't have to push it back up with your foot when you're unlocking it. So what you're going to do to lock it is just use your foot, push it down. That locks our wheels. And to unlock it, you just push your foot down on it again. And that unlocks the wheels for you. So it's really nice and easy to use. With the Mytrax, the handlebar is actually adjustable. And it's a really nice find when you have a pushchair with an adjustable handlebar, because what it's going to mean is no matter how tall or short you are, you're going to be able to find a comfortable position to push the pushchair in. And if your partner is smaller or taller than you, it's not going to matter, because again, they can just adjust it to suit them accordingly. So here on the handlebar, we've got these mechanisms here on both sides, and what you're going to do is pull them up, and that will bring the handlebar all the way up. This goes really high. Now I am quite short and this would be too high for me really to push. So it really is going to be suitable if you are tall. And to move it down, you use the same mechanism. So you push them up and then that will bring the handlebar back down for you. That is really nice. Now the handlebar is made again with this leatherette material. It looks really high end and luxurious, and it's really nice and comfortable to push. It maneuvers so nicely. It's really smooth. You can easily push this one-handed with no problems at all. Now it's got a little bit of weight to it, the pushchair. I think it's about 10.7, so about average. You can find some slightly lighter, but it doesn't feel heavy to push at all. But what it does feel is really, really sturdy. Again, it just feels really nicely made and high-end. So I'm loving the push on that. I can see that you're not going to have any problems at all wheeling this around. Say you've got a bag in one hand or you're holding your older child's hand. It's going to be absolutely lovely for you. You have got on this pushchair a one-handed fold. Now, if you've seen a Litetrax or a Mytrax before, you'll probably already be familiar with the fold. And you fold the pushchair by going to the strap and the button on the seat unit. So if you can see here, we've got a button and a strap, and what you're going to do is using your thumb, push down on the button, and at the same time with the rest of your hand, pull on this strap. So push it down, put it up. You can see there how easy it is to fold. Folded it, you'll see here we've got this clip which goes into place, and that will hold the frame together. Now it is a good size fold. Definitely going to be able to get this in most car boots without any problem, I would have thought. And as I said, it's about, I said 10.7, it's somewhere around 10.5, 10.7, the weight of the pushchair. So once folded, it has got a little bit of weight to it if you were to lift it, but it's definitely not too heavy to get that in and out of a boot. And it feels lovely. So to undo it, we're just going to undo this clasp, get the handlebar, bring it back up, and it just clicks back into place. So that's all the features of the Mytrax Pro. Hopefully this has given you a really good overview of what it does. So now that we've looked at the Litetrax Pro and the Mytrax Pro separately, I've put them together so that we can compare them. Now to start with, let's go through a few basics. So the Litetrax Pro retails at £240. The Mytrax Pro retails at £300. There's a weight difference between them. So the Litetrax Pro comes in at 9.7 and the Mytrax Pro is 10.7. You can use both of the pushchairs straight from birth all the way up until 22K. So that's exactly the same. And you can attach a compatible carrycot or a car seat to both of the pushchairs. So you would use a Joie carrycot. You can also attach a selection of Joie car seats or any other car seat when you purchase the correct adapters. So again, there's no difference there. The only difference is that with the Mytrax Pro, you can actually take the fabrics off of the seat completely so that you're just left with the frame, and then you can pop the carrycot and the car seat on that way. And with our Litetrax Pro, you can't do that. The fabrics stay on. So what you would do is recline the seat all the way down and then attach the carrycot or the car seat. In terms of the fabrics, the Mytrax Pro is made with recycled materials, so it is bottles that would have otherwise ended up in the sea, and what they're doing is they've created a collection with recycled materials, and that is the selling point, I should say, really, of the Mytrax Pro, and we don't have that with the Litetrax Pro. So we can see here there's a price difference, the materials are made of different things, and the Mytrax Pro allows you to take those fabrics off to attach your car seat or carrycot, but really that's the only difference when we're looking at the basics of the pushchairs. I'm going to start off with the differences because actually these pushchairs are so similar to each other. So we'll start off with the things that are different with them, and that is the handlebar. So on the Mytrax Pro, the handlebar here is adjustable, as you saw earlier on in the video. So you can adjust that according to your height. We don't have that on the Litetrax Pro. The other difference here, as I just said, is the materials. So here we've got a really thick linen type material. This here is also really nice material, but a lot thinner. But there is really no difference at all in terms of how padded they are. So things that are the same on the pushchairs, which, as I said, is a lot. The wheels are exactly the same on both pushchairs. They are rubber foam-filled tyres, so they both have these all-terrain tyres where you can use them in an urban area and you can also use them out on your countryside walks. You can see the frames of the pushchairs are basically the same. The only difference we have here is the bumper bars, and that is just the colour of the bumper bars. They have both got these leatherette covering on them. The seats do exactly the same thing. So they both have 4 recline positions. They both have 3 heights to put your straps in. The clasps are exactly the same on both. The mechanism, if we turn this round, to recline your seats is exactly the same on both. No difference there at all. The baskets are the same. You can see here, there's no difference here with the baskets. The folds on the pushchairs, let's spin them around again. Get them into position. There we go. The folds on the pushchairs are exactly the same as each other. So you have here this button and a strap. You can see on the Mytrax, you have exactly the same. They work in the same way, where you would push the button down with your thumb and then you would use your hand to pull the strap up at the same time. So they both have these really great one-handed folds, and they fold to almost exactly the same size as well. Both seats look almost exactly the same size. I mean, they may well be a tiny bit of difference in them, but they appear to be the same size. So they both have these really nice tall and rather wide seats. We also have on both of them these lovely oversized hoods that are extendable, so there is no difference there other than the material that they're made from. And if we extend them out, you will see there is no difference with them extended, and they both have ventilation windows on either side and these peekaboo ventilation windows here. And if you were to have the seat all the way down on recline, there's also an extra bit of ventilation down there as well. So no difference at all. other than the materials that the hoods are made from. You do get with the Litetrax this little extra parent tray. You don't get that on the Mytrax Pro. I'm not sure how important a parent tray is to most people. I mean, it's quite useful to have, but it's definitely not going to be a decider on which pushchair you get. I just talked about the parent tray. So you've got a place to put your cup in the parent tray there, but the Mytrax did come with a cup holder that will attach to the handle. So on both of them, you do have an option to put your cup in. Both pushchairs are really nice to push. They both have all-wheel suspension, so there is no difference in terms of how the pushchairs handle, and you'll be able to maneuver both of them exactly the same regardless of what terrain you're using them on. Both of the pushchairs have this flex system where there are springs underneath here on the seats. And what those springs do is they will soak up any of the bumps that you're going over, and so that your child won't feel them. It'll be a much smoother ride for your child. So that's exactly the same on both of the pushchairs. And both of the pushchairs come with rain covers. So if you're looking at both of these and you're trying to decide which one is best for you, really the only difference here is that on the Mytrax Pro, you're able to adjust the handlebar. You don't have that on the Litetrax. The Mytrax Pro is made out of recycled materials, so if that's something that appeals to you, you would only get that on the Mytrax Pro. The Litetrax Pro does not have that. And of course, with the Mytrax Pro, you're able to remove all of those materials so that you're just left with the frame to pop your carrycot or car seat on. So if that's important to you, that is something that will only come with the Mytrax Pro, not the Litetrax. So there's really only 3 differences between them. Other than that, everything is exactly the same on them. And they're both really as good as each other. So it's just going to be whether you want to spend the extra to get that adjustable handle and to be able to move the materials, and whether you're attracted to the fact that this is made of recycled material. I love them both. I think if I was going to pick one, I would go for the Mytrax Pro. And for me, that's not really based on the handle. That is just based on the fact that I prefer the look and the feel of the material on the Mytrax Pro. I think it's a really attractive, really thick, nice linen material. But they're both great, and they will both serve you as good as each other. And they're also really good price points, both of them. So if you'd like any more information at all, you can go on to buggybaby.co.uk. If you've got any questions, please do leave them in the comments, and thank you for watching.